And in '89, we, at the technical commission, we decided that a World Cup circuit starting in 1991 will be composed of that many races, those disciplines. It was only cross country at the beginning, and it will work this way. You know, timing and scoring and everything will be that, and the age category and the groups and the distance. We had a lot of work to do because it had to be international at the beginning. Same rules for everyone wherever we go. If we go to Australia, there's only one set of rules. We had to educate trained commissaires. So I did the first exam for the commissaires. I wrote it, and then I gave that course at the Cycling Federation, French Cycling Federation in Paris. We gathered all the commissaires that wanted to have this training exam and have the credential of commissaires and technical delegates. So I gave that first course in Paris, and so it was in 1990, early 1990, and that started the concept of World Championships for Durango, Colorado, and then the World Cup that would start right after the first championships. So for 1991.
Now there's so many memories I have of Mont-Sainte-Anne. First time I was racing there was 1991, so I was actually there at the very first one, and won a couple races there, and always relate great memories to Mont-Sainte-Anne.
From the work that Patrice has done, every year the course is changing a little bit. It's always fresh. There's always something to look forward to, something new to learn. And other World Cup organizers have been seeing what they do in Sainte-Anne, and they are bringing that and trying to emulate that in their own courses. Like the rock garden in South Africa is something that was inspired by the Beatrice in Sainte-Anne.
It's one of the mainstays that's been there from the start. So it's just, I mean, we used to have Hoofleys, which was the classic, but it kind of faded away in the last several years, and just Sainte-Anne's just like on the road, one of the classic venues that everyone would love to win once in their career, and you know, just the history there is what makes it from back in the day, the legendary parties that they used to have, and you mean they do such a great job. I mean, I think it's unique in North America where we get that many people out, and just memories. Being a Canadian, especially seeing the hometown hero, Marie-Hélène, the cheers going around the venue just kind of send shivers down your spine.
24 years.
24 years.
Yes, we started the business, Patrice and I, with the first mountain bike World Cup here. Okay. That's how we decided to start Gested. Yeah, it was the first, and we did mountain bike until 1996. So from 1991 to 96, we only did mountain bike events. So we had this event here every year, and then we had World Championships in Bromont in 1992. And during that time, we were traveling a lot around the world to help other organizations to host the World Cup or just to put it on. So giving some tips on how to do it, and just, you know, be with them and make it happen. It was a lot of fun.
For 2015, for the 25th anniversary of international mountain bike racing at Mont-Sainte-Anne, I would think that first of all, the first reason we are here is to deliver a World Cup, so we will concentrate first of all on the World Cup to deliver great courses and pay attention to what happened this year, and you know, like that is for sure taken care of. Then comes how do we celebrate, or how do we highlight the fact that we are here since 25 years?
For sure we're going to do something special. I mean, you cannot have 25 years of mountain bike at Mont-Sainte-Anne, Mountain Bike World Cup, and not do anything. So yes, we're going to do a small committee internally at Gested to think about it and be creative of what we can do. But this week we've been talking with a lot of teams, and in the teams already there's a lot of people that are here for what, 20, 21 years. So some of them. So we've been discussing a lot about that with them, and saying what would you see, what do you think? Definitely trying to have some legends here, like, you know, who knows?
You did that for the 20th, I seem to recall.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we'd like to have again like more of them, like Cindy Devine that won downhill here a long time ago, Cadel Evans, I mean, John Tomac, Ned Overend, I mean, all these guys from the years, and it would be nice to have a couple of them here and do a big meeting with these people, a gathering, something. And
those clips that we can make of different years. It changed so much, you know, like it's from 1991, you look at the start with the banners hanging like this, you know, with two poles, with the timers, you know, in a little tent. You know, that all that presentation changed a lot. And, you know, we were doing awesome stuff in 1991. We would never do it again this way. Because, you know, but that was where we were, and we were amongst the best. So we believe it was good. But when we look at it, it looks like a regional event, you know, but it was a true World Cup.
You mentioned what your budget for this year was. What was it in 91?
I remember what it was in 1991. It was $190,000.
Wow.
It's crazy, huh?
It
wow.
is.
That's a great, you just make me remember that. But yeah, I mean, I've seen some picture this week that some people brought with them from 1991, a couple of them. My God. The difference between the start line and you know, just the way everything is set up and the way the people are dressed, their bicycle, the downhill bike. My God, it's so different now. That's nice.
Is there one athlete that stands out in your mind who's raced here? Obviously, Marie.
Yeah.
She was outstanding. But is there another?
Yeah. John Tomac, the iconic athlete, you know, with a style, you know, like innovative style. This is the first guy that came to do the downhill with a disc in a rear wheel. Why? I don't know, but it was in all magazines. Skin suit for downhill, skin suit like a rubber suit with a full helmet. With you know, he was extremely clever about the style, but he also won, and he was a clever racer. And the woman, remember Alison Sider, our Canadian girl, that was coming from the road, was introduced to mountain bike by a friend of us in Quebec, that was his mechanic, and he brought her here as, Alison, let's try this mountain bike, you know, why not, you know, and so Alison said, okay, I'll try it, so she tried it, and she signed next year the big sponsor with Volvo, and she's been world champion and World Cup leader for I don't know many years, but it started here as a test, and she was a little bit complaining about, this is so hard mountain bike. Missy Jovi, you know, the downhill girl, you know, piercings, tattoo, you know, dreads, you know, like colorful personage, you know.
My first podium at Mont-Sainte-Anne, I had a silver to Marie-Hélène Permont that was going into the Beijing Olympics, so it was a pretty exciting weekend for us.
You know, the course in Mont-Sainte-Anne is a typical example of how the sport changed over the past 20 years. We've been out there for 2.5 hours at least. It was more like a battle against yourself than these days, where it's like a really short 1.5 hour race where everything is much tighter together, sometimes even sprint finishes we see these days. We haven't had such things.
Probably one of the more memorable ones was National Championships, which was just an absolute mudfest, and probably one of the most proud races I've been to finish. I think I was battling at the front and had a flat tire back in the days when we had to fix it, and fixed it, got back up near the front, and I think the second thing that happened was broke my chain, and fixed my chain, got back up near the top three again, and then my rear derailleur cable snapped. So stuck in the 11, tried to ride that for half a lap, and said there's no way this is happening. So actually pulled my cable out and tied it off, so I was in about the 7th cog, so I was in a 2x1 and fought through and then finished off 7th, and not my best nationals, but one I'll sure remember.
I believe the first time I raced Mont-Sainte-Anne was definitely as a junior, and I raced cross country and downhill. It was a national race. Mont-Sainte-Anne is actually the only World Cup I've ever podiumed at, and so it's definitely a track that I love and respect and can't wait to race every year. Yeah, so 5th place was my best result here, and
What year was that?
not last year, but the year before, so 2012. Yeah, and today I almost had it again. Gonna have to wait a whole nother year. Being here was so different than BC, and it was all very exciting, and I've never really forgotten that. I kind of fell in love with Quebec that first time. So
I mean, we're the only site in the whole world that had a mountain bike World Cup every year for 25 years. And it's 25 years of history because 1991 was the first ever World Cup.
So for the 25th, planning on being there?
Definitely, yeah, I wouldn't want to miss that.
And are you planning on coming back next year?
Sure.
Good. But you'll be back next year?
oh, I'll be back.
For the 25th
I'll be
anniversary?
back. Yes, absolutely.
You gonna be there next year?
You bet. Yeah.
Good.